Hello everyone, welcome back to Blue Ridge Survival. Today we are having a survival game show. We're gonna have basically this person, which I will introduce in a few minutes. My sister Talitha, who has been in like 1 or 2 videos, and my brother Josiah, who has been in basically every video. I'm gonna drop them all off in the woods separately, or actually no, in a team of 2 versus 1. And the winner gets $10 entire dollars. It's all I'm willing to pay them. All right, so we have 2 of our contestants right here, and the third is walking away because Josiah always lags behind. All right, so we have 2 of the contestants right here today. Landon, he has a YouTube channel called Landon Bricks with a Z at the end of the bricks.
Yeah, come on, cool.
Because he's weird. And then we have Talitha, who does not have a YouTube channel because that would be a horrible channel. And I'm going to be doing the filming today, so I'm going to be the kind of host of this show. They will each get to pick 5 items out of my survival kits and bring only 5 items into the wilderness with them. The winner who has the best campsite by the end of 2 hours will get $10. All right, so here is my first kit. I'm going to pretty much just let them pick out of this one because my backpack has some stuff, but I'll pull. All right, so this stuff, I'm just gonna lay this stuff out. We have a fire kit, which is obviously to make a fire. You have a compass. You have these survival bracelets. You have a plasma arc lighter, which can light fires, and it's a flashlight. You have a hatchet, which if you take it, don't break it. A knife. A saw. Well, you can dent it on rocks or whatever, but a saw, folding saw. A small first aid kit, fishing kit, which you don't need because there's not really any fishing, a pan, and that's it. But each of you can pick 2 items to start with.
I'll get the hatchet.
So Talitha Gray picked a fire kit and a saw, and Landon picked a hatchet and a plasma arc lighter that's also a flashlight. So the rest of this stuff, I'm going to put aside. They can pick something else from it if they want. But for now, we're going to go on to the bigger backpack. All right, both of you can pick 3 more things from all of it.
I mean, we have to go on the 4-wheeler, so I guess it would be better. All right.
All right, so these 3 contestants, it's going to be Landon and Talitha as, what do you want to name your team?
The Trailblazers.
Okay, fine. That's actually a decent, normal name. All right, so it's the Trailblazers versus Josiah, and he will show you what he's bringing. But let me quick run over what they're each bringing. Talitha is bringing a life straw cup,
a thingy, cordage,
Marines Navy issue canteen cup, cordage. Landon is bringing that hatchet. She's bringing a saw and a fire kit, and Landon is bringing a first aid kit with a lighter in it. And did you bring anything else?
And knife.
And his knife. So Josiah is bringing his BPS high carbon steel knife and a small survival kit, and that's it. And this is my cousin, unfortunately.
Hey. Yeah.
All right, so the Team Trailblazers is about to head out into the wilderness. I'm going to drop them off, and they are going to have no idea where to go or what to do or how to survive. How are you feeling about this, Landon? How are you feeling about this, Tal?
I don't want to have him on my team.
Well, you have him on your team. The second team is coming up. I'm taking them back here and I'm dropping them off in the complete wilderness. So Team Trailblazer are heading off into the wilderness to see if they can find a good campsite. Meanwhile, I don't know what their team name is. I never asked. Is heading down into their own area. Team Trailblazers attempting to start a fire.
Bro, stop. I need to get
Kindling. Wait, don't you have that fire kit?
yes. Do I need some like this?
Maybe they've got it. Now, don't use a ton of that now. Using some dryer lint from the fire kit, they've got it. It's started. You just need to get kindling on it. Get some lint on it and I can't talk. Team Trailblazers fire has officially started. We'll check back on them in a minute. And it goes without saying, that team is the unexperienced team. Meanwhile, the experienced team is working on building some kind of shelter.
Basically, I'm just making a big wall in the front. I'm gonna bridge it straight across here.
Sorry, what?
I'm gonna build it up to about here and then bridge it straight to that hill. And that way I have a platform on the top. And we'll also have the shelter down here. I'll move some of these leaves. Got some moss or kind of soft branches down there. And yeah, we have a pretty good lookout from up here. Anything that's going down there. And we could potentially go down to the creek if we really needed to, through that board. But yeah, that's basically what we're doing right now.
These two teams are very different. We have a more experienced team that's into bushcraft, and we have a very non-experienced team, but they've got more gear, and they've honestly, they're in a better position almost. So we're gonna see if they can still win this $10 prize.
You need sticks. Little sticks.
Can't break it. I'm gonna get it thinner.
The shelter.
Team Trailblazer is having a hard time. Talitha already cut herself, and Landon was putting green pine straw on the fire, which hurts. But their team is definitely having problems.
I should burn for a while.
Again, Team Trailblazer is having serious problems. And Landon just stuck a massive rotten log on the fire. So, meanwhile, with Team Josiah, now Landon is going out to get water on foot.
Can you ride these?
No. All right, Landon is at the water source.
You have to go the annoyingly way back. Look how steep that is. I have to go down that. Okay.
So what do you think about your teammate and their skill?
She's pretty good at gathering wood and stuff. So, yeah.
Do you think that you have what it takes to beat Team Josiah?
I have no clue what he's doing. He's probably making like a base or something. I don't know if it's annoying, but
Landon's on fire.
I guess it's cool, whatever. Oh, maybe we should get her up.
So Team whatchamacallit has shelter, fire, and water. Surprisingly, Bobby Joe does not.
Huh?
From what I've seen, Team Trailblazer is actually doing better than I thought, but they definitely have a couple major flaws in their camp design. But meanwhile, Team Josiah has only built their shelter. They have not built anything else. So at this point, it's about a stalemate. While Team Trailblazer's camp may be messy, it is actually working somewhat decently. Though their fire's gonna die in a minute if they don't get stuff on it. All right, so Team Trailblazer has a fire, but now it looks like so does Team Josiah.
I did use a cheat, which was a paraffin wax and lighter fluid disc, which I wouldn't call it cheat. But
A semi-shelter has been built. This one is actually pretty good. It's got a solid log wall on this side, though the roof could be a lot more thatched with heavier debris and stuff, but for now, it's definitely ranking over Team Trailblazers. Currently, if Team Trailblazer doesn't do some major changes, they might fall behind. So what is your team working on right now?
We're trying to make that over there. Obviously, that was already there, so technically it might not count, so we're trying to make a base thing, right? Shelter.
it burns for 2 minutes, literally.
Team Josiah and Team Landon are trading
And I got this
gear.
bandage in case you kill yourself.
Do you think we'll need rope? Put like rope
Man,
on
you
it?
got that stuff. Hey, bud, you can make pine needle tea while it's heated. You might as well.
Absolutely not.
I mean, we're gonna watch vitamin C just from the sun.
You mean D.
Also found some Indian stone tools down there.
Currently, Josiah has got a pot of water on the fire boiling with a piece of rock, I guess, as a lid. Sort of to try to keep the
Keep most of the junk out.
junk out. All right, so their shelter's just about complete.
I mean, it's not bad.
Both teams only have 15 minutes left in their challenge. So this is the final stretch. So I'd work on cleaning your camp up and making it look nice before you make sure you have all your tools, because if you lose any, you immediately fail.
Really useful.
Yeah, the water is boiling. It's bubbling a little bit.
We want to.
All right, for their final shoot.
Can we get like a stick?
See in the mail. See the pine needles.
All fires need to be now put out. All right,
This is why
I think we have a winner. All right, Landon. Do you think you won?
Maybe. I mean, they made like a base thing. We made a base. I don't know. I think it's kind of even, and they boiled water. We got it, so I'm kind of worried about that part. But yeah, we made a fire too, and we did trading, and I cut down a bunch of trees. I don't know what they did, but yeah, I don't know.
Tal, do you think your team won, and how do you feel about the whole challenge? Do you think you guys did well, or do you think you did poorly?
We did goodish, but I think Joey did better because his score is better. I think Joe's gonna win.
Okay, some nice self-confidence there. To tell the truth, Team Josiah won because he's more advanced. He knows more. If we're talking just straight about how their camps looked, Team Trailblazer won because their camp was a pre-made. Like, I had already picked it and I did some bushcraft there before, so it was already pre-made. It was a very good campsite, and it was already cleared and everything. The fire pit was already there, so they built everything, and it looked very nice. But their techniques, their survival skills, were just not nearly as good because they were just throwing tools on the ground. They just chucking things really close to the fire, taking stuff out of the med kit, leaving it all over the ground. Like, yeah. So, Team Trailblazer did a good job with picking their campsite because there was an already pre-made, very obvious campsite there. But a lot of things were pre-made. Like, their first shelter was already there and their firing was already there. They made a secondary shelter, which was actually pretty good, and that was decent. But they basically had a very decent camp, but it was kind of sort of pre-picked. So the picking the campsite part is not going to be as many points. Like, Team Josiah and Ethan, I should mention, he did a bunch of stuff too, but
He did a good half of it.
but they essentially they had to pick their own campsite completely, and they built it. It wasn't quite as aesthetically pleasing. It wasn't quite as nice looking campsite, but it was just as functional. That so saying, the campsites themselves are pretty even. Team Trailblazers campsite was nice looking. They built a pretty decent fort or shelter, and Team Joe Bob, whatever your name is, Josiah's and Ethan's team, their campsite was pretty decent as well. But there was one thing that set them apart, and this is going to decide the winner or the loser: the techniques that you use. So Team Josiah kept their gear organized. Like, he put all his gear on his knife and stuck on a tree and like made sure it was all organized and neatly kept, while your team kind of had it all over the place, lying on the ground, which, if you're in a survival situation, you could die because you misplaced something and you don't have it anymore. And you also destroyed yourselves. Congratulations to you all for completing the challenge, and if you didn't win, just know you'll still have a bunch of views and you will be more famous on YouTube.
Yeah. So famous
a
that
lot of these
Mr.
get,
Beast
like-
will be shaking his
You
boots.
got $2.
Actually, no, wait, no, Mr. Beast, put me in a video.
No, he'll just give you like a free $20,000.
And Ethan's
I could
sitting
use
there staring at his
$20,000, so if
$5
anybody out there just wants to give me $20,000, that would be really
And to
helpful.
this kid, this is
And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on Blue Ridge Survival. Do not visit his channel.
Come on!